Greetings
Speakerboxxx.
and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. We're all friends and fans. That's staying in, motherfucker. Get together, agree, disagree, and talk some music. Usually under the influence of alcohol. And we're
No,
old.
none whatsoever.
So, we're talking the Speakerboxxx / The Love Below by Outkast, which was Tim's pick. That's Tim.
Speakerboxxx.
That was it. That was. You motherfucker. I'm Jason. That's Joe.
Speakerboxxx.
And Bill.
Beaker box.
I was hoping Bill said break on that one. I was waiting for Bill to be like,
That was
break
his
the tie it all
chance.
together.
Yep, yep. All right. Jesus Lord, help me. If this is your first
Help
time
me.
here, we are a playlist link channel,
Scripted.
not scripted at all.
Yeah, good thing, because I never learned how to read.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've caught
What's
all the
reading?
previous videos. I'm
Hooked
just
on-
gonna
hooked
move
on
us
phonics.
over here. We're just gonna. This track list is so long. We're gonna have to go over here. We're talking Speakerboxxx. I do believe, Joe. I think you got to kick this one off,
Yeah,
right?
I think I got to talk about it. So Speakerboxxx / The Love Below. All the rage. 2003. I mean, we were 2003 to like 2005. You didn't hear anything but specifically The Love Below. You heard, I mean, there were some things off of Speakerboxxx you heard, but I'm gonna talk about it in two different.
I know there were people on both sides of the fence, and
Yeah.
I partied with people. They only played Speakerboxxx, so
I was around a bunch of white girls, so they played The Love Below.
we'll get into it.
So I received a burnt CD of The Love Below that was missing songs, and they were all out of order. It was great, and that's how I thought The Love Below went for a very long time. So it has been very interesting to. It's still on like my Apple Music the way that I originally got it because
It's
I
hard to
switched
break
it.
through those burned CDs that were wrong that you
Uh-huh.
just grew up with. Like it's hard to break that. I
Yeah,
get you.
you'll be listening to me like start singing, what you think is the next song. You're like, ooh,
Yep.
that is not the next song. So Speakerboxxx, we'll start there for disc one. I like the intro a lot. I really like the beat of it. I think this is a really good intro. I don't know where I would rank it versus the other ones. Besides, I like it better than Stankonia. Ghetto music feels like a dance club mix, and if it weren't for that club mix feeling, I think this is a good song. Because of the club mix type deal, I don't love this song starting off. I think it's just okay. Um, Fun Happy. I love this one. This one's great. I love him referring to his AKA Lucius Left Feet. I think that's fun. And I love the sound of it. It's a real fun sound to be named Unhappy. Um, Bow Tie. Apparently, I love horns in all Outkast songs because I think this is great. Um, the Way You Move, also think is great. Both of those top song contenders for me. The Way You Move, I forgot this was on Speakerboxxx. So I don't know why, but I know this song. I forgot it was on here. Rooster, more horns with a Spanish flair, so you know I like it. Bust, once again, Killer Mike, just knocking it out of the park there. War's good. Church has a real like Eminem flair to it to me. Like it sounds like it could be an Eminem song as you go through it. I really like the gospel ending though. So good song. Bamboo, I think this is fun. This is one of my favorite interludes. Him and the kids, the whole world in there. I love the Michael Jackson thing. And the kid sung about Michael Jackson. He's like, Michael Jackson, not on my album. I think that's great. That's one of my favorites. Tomb Boom, pretty good. Ludacris is here, so it's fun to hear from Ludi. Emacs that. Knowing's pretty good. Flip Flop Rock, Killer Mike and Jay Z on it. I think everyone does a great job throughout this song. Through there, I was a little reluctant to be like, "Oh, well, Jay Z's on it." I don't know if this really fits what we've been doing so far, but I think that, like I said, everybody has a great part, and I like how they switch courses from Jay Z over to I don't know if it's Killer Mike. Somebody flips in there at some point. The interlude that comes up is good, but I kind of feel like Interlude should have closed this whole album or disc one of this album because I think that would have been a really great split there. It kind of explains what's going on. Instead, we go into other things like Reset. I usually love CeeLo's Class, but I think this is the weakest one. I think this is just an okay song. We go there. Last Call. The echo to begin with was a little annoying, but it turns really good. We do have more horns, and we do have that inquisitive rapper on here. So what? Uh, Bow tie, fine. The postlude, that's fine. Um, but once again, like I said, the interlude should go there. So that is Speakerboxxx for me. I uh, going into this thought that I disliked this a lot more. Like I was really down on Speakerboxxx before going back and listening to it here. Um, I think it has to do with that start. I really think it has to do with ghetto music. Like I started listening to it and I was like,
Wow.
immediately turned off. But as you go through and listen to it, you're like, oh, this is Outkast. This is Big Boy. I mean, it is what it is. Love Below, obviously, I think the intro is great. Um, I think it's a really great hit you in the mouth with a style change. Where immediately this is, bam, we are a completely different album here. Love Hater. I love the jazzy big band feel. Really good. God, a great little interlude in there. Happy Valentine's Day is a top song contender for me. I got my good shoes on. I'm gonna lace them up tight. Spread is good. Wear My Panties is hilarious. The ice cold yell in the background, I think, is really funny. Um, Prototype, I think I'm in loves. Thank you very much. So that was this is one that I know was moved around on the disc that I had. It did not come in here. She Lives in My Lap featuring Rosario Dawson. So that's kind of fun to hear Rosario in there. Hey Ya, everybody knows Hey Ya. Hey Ya is such a good song that even when people cover it in different styles, still an amazing song. Um, I've heard people cover it like acoustically, and I'm like, Hey Ya is amazing. What a jam you put out there. Roses, another great song. Good Day, Good Sir is a fun, like, who's on first little interlude in a weird way. Behold a Lady fits in really well behind that. Where do all the good girls hang at? Pink and Blue, I never remember the name of this song. Uh, I don't know why. It's right in there, but I never remember the song's name. I've always heard it, just never remember it. Uh, the Claire Huxtable shout out is kind of fun in a way.
You fucker.
Love and War, another great song. She's Alive. I always thought my CD was skipping back in the day whenever I heard the start of this one. Um, I do like the mom break-in thoughts in that. Dracula's Wedding, another great song. It's just a real cool little beat they've got going on there. That's a top song contender for me. The plus I make great peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Van Hale's like line, that's pretty fun. The Ladder, really good. Favorite Things. I like this sped up like cover instrumental of Favorite Things. Take Off Your Cool featuring Nora Jones. Nice little short song. I like the strings. I like Nora Jones in it. Vibrate is pretty good. Let's see. And A Life and a Day of Benjamin Andre is a top song contender for me also. Incomplete. I just really like this. I just like this, him just flowing through this. I've always enjoyed that. Once again, another one that was really not in its correct place. So I think this is a great finisher. That's as far as I got is to me a good ending here. So that's my kind of lengthy rundown of those two.
Yeah, you're gonna do a lot more than me. I'll just run through mine quickly. Speakerboxxx, it's very P-Funk. It's very 70s sounding in a lot of places. It's a lot of samey on the album. Ghetto music, it reminds me of my disco Mickey Mouse record in places. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I love that fucking record. But, it's got some interesting tempo changes. Unhappy, the lyrics are great, but the music, it's like almost overproduced. And I know I'm going to contradict myself here in a minute, but It's just like it's too far from the Outkast that I like. The way you move, this is where I'm gonna contradict myself. It's too simple. Like Outkast raised the bar so high on the past albums that this just feels like a step back to me. I've never really liked that song, and I know that was a big one, but it just never did anything for me. The Rooster, the lyrics are great. Mrs. Jackson reference, but again, I'm just not a fan of the music. Bus, though, is a highlight for me. I mean, you got Killer Mike again. Church is good. War's okay. Tomb of the Boom. It's kind of like old school Outkast. Like that one. That one's alright. That one's good. But yeah, with Joe, it just kind of this one feels bloated. Like Speakerboxxx feels bloated and overproduced and very samey to me. I think the lyrical content's still good. Just musically, it took. I don't want to say the bad parts of Stankonia, but like the part of Stankonia that was like just like it worked well as a mix. This takes that and just like there's too much of it. Too much pop, I guess, would be the best way. I don't know. But then you got the Love Below. And already the intro starts out way more interesting than Speaker. It feels more cohesive. It feels as if a concept is about to start. Love Hater, Big Bang Swing, let's fucking go. The God interlude, it really carries over that pro-female vibes from Stankonia. Like, this is where it starts to be like, oh, okay, I know what you're doing here. Happy Valentine's Day, like Joe, this is a top song contender. I like all the holiday references in it. Spread, you got some smooth jazz, but it also reminds me of Beck's Midnight Vultures, which is a good thing because that's an underrated Beck record. Where Are My Panties? It's like it's good, but is it good on repeated listens when you're listening to the record? Like, do you really need to hear it every single time? But it fits the concept. It really works in the zeitgeist of the record. Prototype, the guitar reminds me of Dinosaur Jr.'s song Flying, which is already a plus. Once the full song kicks in, it's funky, it's soulful, it's sexy. She Lives in My Lap, that's my top song contender. Even if just for Rosario, that's a queen. You got the album name drop, you get some Prince vibes, it's just good shit all around. Hey Ya, it's a classic, it's fun, it fits the theme of the record. Roses Really Smell Like Poo Poo, it's a fucking classic. Good Day, Good Sir, Joe already talked about that. Behold a Lady, the whole record, it's just top tier. It's a beautiful love song. Pink and Blue takes a bit to get going, but it's never boring. The intro is just as good as when it does kick in. The lyrical delivery reminds me of a Willy Wonka song. My favorite lines, so what if your head sports a couple of gray hairs? Same here, and actually I think it's funky in a Claire Huxtable type way. Love and War's great. She's Alive, like Joe. Is the mother aspect. Dracula's Wedding. It's so weird and sweet and goofy. That's a top song contender. My favorite things. It's a jam. It's up there with the Me First and the Gimme Gimme's cover of my favorite things. Like, because there's a lot of really bad covers of that song. So, Take Off Your Cool has this acoustic 60s vibe. Then the album kind of jumps to Vibrate, which is an entirely different beast altogether. Motherfuck the Wagon, Come Join the Band. And A Life in the Day of Benjamin Andre. That song covers a lot more than a fucking day, I'll tell you that. This album celebrates women, like, from all angles. There's nothing bad here. And I'll stop reading. Because of my final notes.
I'm gonna quickly just, poke my head in here quickly. Um, just because you guys have said a lot of the stuff that I was kind of thinking about saying. So both these So the one Outkast song I knew going in that was Outkast was Hey Ya. Um, because I would argue that's by far their biggest, most well known. This is Outkast song.
Sure, but you can also argue that it's not Outcast.
Exactly. And I would after listening through again, I'm gonna cycle back here to what I'm going to like, okay, I know like one Outkast song. It's like, no, actually I know probably a dozen or 2 dozen Outkast
Sure,
songs.
sure.
I just
Mhm.
didn't know it was Outkast. And getting to this point, I wasn't looking I wouldn't say I was looking forward to hearing Hey Ya, but when I got to the point of hearing it, for me it was a letdown. Like it's a good song. Do not misconstrue that part. But
But when you
compared to
compare it to
everything
the rest
else,
of this beast, right?
exactly. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
like this is what what my mind had construed of Outcasts going in here.
So you're saying
It's
we
not
told you Outcast, we're going to cover Outcast, and you're thinking, why are they covering this poppy? Hey,
and I knew Outcast
And
did
why
hip
did
hop
Tim
too.
pick it?
yeah, why
Yeah.
did Tim pick that shit?
See, that was more like, why the fuck is Tim picking this? Is honestly was my mind. Because this is not Tim whatsoever.
Oh, but it
But
is.
hearing back again, now getting the chance to listen to, these albums, again, I heard the songs before, but I didn't know that these songs were Outcast. Like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. And it's interesting, again, just kind of thinking about how my generation, I mean, yeah, we all know I'm, Miss Jackson, right? Like everyone in my generation knows it.
And hey, yeah.
But
And
like,
you know
yes,
Roses.
yeah, but like I didn't know that
Yeah,
Miss
well,
Jackson was
I'm gonna get into
Outcast.
Roses. Roses is a fun one.
Well,
I
tell us,
mean,
what did you think of this album as a whole then?
so so my question before I get too far into this, so was this 2 albums? Was this like a double release? Because these were each like an hour long.
So
Yeah,
they were gonna do their own separate solo record, but their label pressured them because the Outcast name was so strong. I mean, after Stankonia, to make one record. So they made a double album.
Gotcha.
It took
Which
Andre
yeah,
a
this
lot
was all
longer.
released on one day. That
Yeah,
was a
this
big
was
day to take in a lot of music.
so was this 4 LPs then? Like I'm just thinking like how much they
yeah,
Yeah,
this is a
needed
it
to
four,
is.
yeah, this is a
It
actually.
four
is.
LP. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I had a chance to get a first pressing and I passed. Wish I had.
That'd be a good one.
It was always just like just out of the price range though, because it was a 4 LP.
It's on Amazon right now. Not a repress, but
Well, I might have to add that to the cart because yeah, I mean, I'll let Bill finish before I
Yeah.
give my assessment.
I
But
mean, it's not that anything in here is bad music whatsoever. It's not. It's still Outcast. For me though, it pales coming off of what they had with Stankonia though. This is they had an option, but they went, and I cannot fault, musical person or any person in any industry for going for this. They followed some more of the money when they went with this album. I felt they went a little bit poppier. They went a little bit more mainstream with this album, per se. Like, yes, they were chasing them, but this time I feel like this
I
one in '03, they were kind of chasing Akon and Eminem and some of the stuff that they were doing at this point. And they were trying to follow more into that trend, not realizing the gold nugget that they had built up at this point.
I I know it sounds like that, but I don't think they were chasing it. I think this was a natural progression of where they were going.
yeah, I actually think the singles they released that they thought were going to be hits weren't hits, and then the singles they thought weren't going to be hits became the big hits.
Yeah, I don't think they were chasing the money. I think they were just they had more money, so
It just
they
showed
spent
up.
a lot
Yeah.
more time in the studio with this than they would an
Yeah,
AT Aliens. Like
I think we're hearing instead of the combined Outcast that you know, we've got that split going. So we're
that's
not.
my issue with it. Is it's a very separate
Yeah.
thing, and I know it
It's
bleeds
two
in
separate things.
together, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's two separate.
If my knowledge is correct, so Speakerboxxx, Andre helped with some of it, and there are a lot of people who kind of worked with Big
Yeah,
Boy.
like he's on Ghetto Music and then Big Boy's on Roses. Like
Yeah,
there is some
Yeah, but
there's
crossplay there.
crossover.
the Love Below is more just Andre. Like Big Boy, I don't think helped write or do.
Right.
He may be on some of it, but I think Andre was on Speakerboxxx a little more.
To me, the
And my
Love
biggest
Below.
problem with Speakerboxxx after that banger of a first half is by the time you get to the second half, it's like, well, where's Andre? It's like that's cool you got Jay-Z or whatever, but I want Outkast.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll quickly finish up here. Like for me, I was kind of the one that, you know, honed in on this a lot. Speakbox track six, the Rooster. There's only one Rooster for me, and it is not this one though.
I'll give you that.
Um,
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
It is setting
Not
something up though for the next album.
it is, but like, they had a couple interludes. For me, the interludes, especially in Speakerbox, they just weren't as good as any interludes prior to this.
They're like just random. Like the speaker
Yes.
box doesn't
It
feel
doesn't
like
it doesn't like add to it and like build on what's happening in the album. I mean, and granted, it's '03. The art of the album is at the end stages, really, of its
the Love
life.
Below is a full fucking album. It is a concept record in theme.
Yeah.
Like there is a theme to that album.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, there's kind of a theme to Speakerbox too, but it's not as
But it's not.
Speakerbox is very like party oriented. But it's all. I mean, there's some dark shit on Speakerbox. I mean,
Right,
you
but you
know,
can see where the two directions are headed.
yeah,
Where one wants to just kind of stay, in the safe space, and the other one really wants to travel
yeah,
to parts unknown,
yeah. Well, Tim, what have you got for Speakerbox?
I mean, you guys have covered everything. Yeah, Speakerboxxx, the first half of that is just banger after banger. I love Ghetto Music, top song contender. I think what they're doing with that club feel, especially for like 2003 and where digital was at that point, like it feels very modern, it feels very current, it feels like it's pushing something ahead while also commenting on all the lame stuff that's tried to do it already. But then, yeah, after that, I kind of miss Andre. I really want to talk about the Love Below. I'm a big Love Below proponent. Um, like, obviously, the intro sets the vibe right off the bat. Love Hater is super funky. It's super swingy. It's got that big band. Um, and this is really the first time Andre, who, has always been distinct in this discography, he was really starting to show where he can actually sing. He's got a range.
Yeah,
Um, but otherwise, yeah, love hater. And Andre is the love hater in the story, right? If I'm reading it right. Um, the guitar, the drums, the horns, the arrangement, like everything about love hater, I love. Um, and then, yeah, God is really continuing to set up this story. I think all the interludes on this one push the story along. And then I'm with you guys. Happy Valentine's Day is absolutely a top song contender. I love every where that song goes. I love where it ends up. It's just a jam. Spread, that drum beat lives forever in my head. That those snare pops are too good. Send tell your friends and send them a postcard from 3000. Hard.
amazing lyrics. So the lyrics on Spread. Celebrate women.
Wear my panties. It's one of their better interludes. I love it. I'm a big Prototype guy. That bass line is too funky, and just the entire vibe of the song, the lyrics, it's incredible. Big fan of She Lives in My Lap. Um, at this point, like we're transcending the hip hop genre. We're moving into just pure art realm where this is like Prince or Bowie or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know like yeah, the Love Below is just amazing. And that brings us to Hey Ya, which I love. It's super catchy. It's all about the hand claps.
Well, Bill
That'll
don't
get you
like them
every
hand
time.
claps.
It'll get me every time. And all the little, lend me some sugar. I am your neighbor.
Those are
Shout out
quality hand claps in that one. Those are quality hand claps. Those are
Yeah,
and
better than
shout
just
out
your.
to I want to shout out Lucy Liu. Please come on our show. We love you. Roses, I think they wanted that to be the big hit, but Hey Ya just took off. But Roses, yeah,
I like Roses more too. Like to me
it's an
personally,
incredible
Roses is
song.
so fucking good.
Caroline.
The music video is just all
It's
their music
fantastic.
videos.
Yeah. Behold a Lady. I forgot how funky that song was. But yeah, that's a great one. And then Dracula's Wedding is one of my favorite songs. That's
It's
one
so
I
fucking
just
good. It's
love that
so
song.
good.
No drums. How's that for a hip hop song? Um, and then the version of my favorite things, I think, like Joe was alluding to earlier, I think, you can really push that song forward. And I think it does it very well in the context of what this album is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
fits so
Day in the
well.
Life. Yeah. Vibrate, amazing. Day in Life. Like, The Love Below is worth your price of admission all day, every day. Um, Timeless, ageless, amazing album. Speakerboxxx, stick around. Like, it's pretty good. You'll find some serious gems on there.
Yeah, he goes deep on a
Love
couple of
Below is
those.
just transcendent. That's too good.
But that's where our job gets difficult because we
That
got to
is where our
rank it
job
as
gets
a
difficult.
whole together.
Hmm.
I'm so glad I'm not guessing this one.
Who got this piece, Joe?
It's me.
I believe Joe's got it.
All right. Well, let's see here. Because I think we're going to have some very different rankings when it comes to
I
this one.
think this is going to be the divide here. It depends on how we think about it.
Interesting.
Tim, are you number one with this one?
I am number one with this one. I can't deny it.
Felt good about that.
I was a first day buyer and I still pull it out all the time.
Jason, are you number three with it?
I'm not sure.
Well, that's not good for my guessing.
Let me check. I mean, this one I've been struggling with all the time for the last week. You're incorrect, sir.
Damn. All right, so not number three.
Higher or lower?
Yeah,
Lower.
I didn't think you were going up to number two. So I'm gonna go with the last one. I'm gonna put you at the very back.
You are correct.
Okay.
Wow.
And that is
Okay.
only because of Speakerboxxx drags it down. Like if you just took the Love Below, I could see it being number one, maybe number two. But as it's such a split, decisive, it just drags it down. I think Equimini is a more solid album.
Well, and you know how I came to my decision was as good as The Love Below is, even if you take the parts of Speakerboxxx that you love,
And there's an argument for that. I could see that. That's where I struggled. It was either going to go number 1 or number 5. Like it's a
Bill, are you number 3 with it?
No.
All right, so let's say you higher or lower?
Lower.
Oh, okay. Do you put? I don't know if you put it at the very back. Surely not. Number 4.
Negative.
Oh, you're at the very back too.
Oh, he's on the okay.
All right, all right.
Wow.
I
Okay.
did not expect that. I expected. Well, actually, I expected Jason to be somewhere in the middle, but I am number 1 with it.
It's wild.
Shit, Bill, you just joined the A team.
Wow.
I've always been the A team. You just try and relegate me to the B team for no
you
reason.
Tim,
earlier
welcome to the B
Give me
team where
one
everything is
reason
right.
I should be on the B team. One reason.
Earlier, Tim and I was on
Forever
the
on
A
the
team,
B team.
but now
You
you
can't
and
be.
I's number. Now
You can't
we
be
A
on the B
team.
team anymore. You don't like the B team, Bill? Get off the B team. We're winning.
No,
Forever
you on the
on the
S, you on the
Usually I
S
claim the
team.
C team.
You on the
So-
S team.
So with my, I had the same issue as Jason. My thought process with this is, I'm with Tim. I think the Love Below transcends a lot of things. I think it is. If the Love Below was an album on its own, it's probably one of the best albums you've ever heard in your entire life.
I agree.
It's,
I
it's on
100%
such a
agree.
pedestal.
I 100% agree.
I thought Speakerboxxx, my memory of Speakerboxxx was not good. I did not think it was a very good album. Giving it a listen this time, I think it is a good album. Do I think there are some parts that are flat in it? Yes. But it's good. I mean, I don't think it's any worse than a lot of their catalog.
I think
I think it's
Speakerboxxx is
actually.
it's so bloated though. Speakerboxxx is so bloated. It's so
I don't necessarily think it's bloated. As
I
far as
do. There's a
Speakerboxxx.
lot of filler on Speakerboxxx. A lot.
I was looking at my notes. I don't see a lot of filler. I do see some things that like I said,
Maybe I
ghetto
need more
music
time
and
with it. Maybe I need more time with it because I do
And
admit
I-
the Love Below is probably the best album on this
yeah.
discography. Well, I'm not
And
going to
that's
spoil
me.
Idlewild, but
It to me it cures a lot of sins. Or would I mean, I think you could pair it with almost anything. I mean, if you paired the Love Below with Idlewild, would it get to number 1? I don't know. But
we'll get there.
yeah, we'll get there.
Okay. I mean, it's all subjective. Like
Color code will tell all.
yeah, the
right?
color code will tell all. It'll tell all. Stick around for that. That will be on the next episode, Idlewild. We'll do our color code, then we'll do our top songs, and then we'll do Is It Art? And the next week we're doing Devo. So stick around for that. Patreon pick. You could pick an artist for us as well. Check the links down below. As always, what, Joe?
Stay ice cold. Nobody's with me?
Let's go.
Thank you.
Supposed to be safe and make decisions, but sure, stay ice cold too.
Caroline, see Caroline, all the guys would say she's mighty fine.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all and then you're ready to go again.